So project number one's final package requirements and format. So as a UX designer, or UI designer, you're often going to have to present your work in a way that shows you've thought through the experience from start to finish, right? Sometimes it's not always good enough just to show a beautiful, awesome final prototype. Oftentimes you have to walk through a client or walk with a potential business partner or somebody that you are pitching an idea to through your entire thought process. And that's what I'm hoping to do with this project one package. Your final presentation size is going to be that classic widescreen presentation format. So 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels tall. That's that classic widescreen format for projector display, for a nice presentation on your laptop if you have to present it virtually. Your final file type is going to be a PDF, so no different than what we've been doing before. Your final project name, keep this in mind as you go to submit your work, is project1_presentation your initials.pdf. So for me, it would be project1_presentation_rsf.pdf. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty here. So your instructions will be to post a PDF representing your full body of work for project one. So everything you've already been doing as it relates to mood boards and wireframing and why you chose your website in the first place to now your prototypes. What things to include? I've included a basic framework for you to get an understanding of what to include in your final project presentation. You're going to need a title slide. You're going to need an introduction or an overview of the project. Side note, you can borrow from the project statement and just tweak it to make it your own. You're going to need the outcome. So what's your elevator pitch? Why are you choosing to redesign this business? And then we're going to need examples of your process. Now, if you're thinking and listening to this, you're probably thinking, well, I've already wrote out why I'm choosing my business. I've already listened and read the project statement. I already have screenshots of the before and after. I've already done my mood board. I already have my wireframes, and I've already started to build my prototype. So all this is doing is taking all those things you've already done and bringing it into one final package. It also gives you a little bit of time, if you didn't like what you did with your mood board, to make a couple tweaks before you submit it in your final package. Same with your prototype, same with your wireframe. So you'll need to include your process examples. So screenshots of the before website, examples pulled from your mood board with a link, examples of your wireframes with a link, your prototype examples with a link, and then finally a page that talks about your top 3 things that you learned from this project. I'm just creating it in Adobe XD. I've created an artboard that's 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels tall, and I'm just grabbing and using assets that I've already screenshotted or examples or a part of my UI to build this out. So I have my title page here to give me an overview of what this project is all about. I have an overview of the project itself. I've pulled this from just the project statement and adapted it to fit my needs as I'm doing the Handles ice cream. Now, you're obviously doing other websites, so you can tailor this, tweak this to make this your own. So just a brief overview statement, project overview of what you as the designer are expecting somebody to get from this presentation. I like to include maybe just a sentence or two to kick that off, and then talk about the things that are a part of this overall presentation. So you're going to talk about how you selected the business, identified the opportunities for improvement. You created not a mold board. You don't want to create a mold board. You created a mood board of inspiration. You've developed wireframes of a new design, and you've prototyped a set of screens for the redesign. On this next page, I've got a summary statement. So why am I even choosing to do Handles? Why is it important? So I give a little overview of what Handles is all about. And my goal in the redesign is to showcase these unique qualities of Handles through their website. To do so, I focused on these 3 key areas. Now, if you remember back to one of the discussion posts you did, you had to identify what were the 3 things that you wish to accomplish through this redesign. And so you can pull those, reuse them here to showcase these are the 3 areas I wanted to focus on as a part of this redesign. I also then go into the examples of the current state. So you've already pulled screenshots of your business. So include those screenshots here. I've also included a link to their current website. So as I generate a PDF, I can click on that and go and see that business's current website. Now we move into the the mold boards or the mood boards. I've just taken those assets, those things that I've included in my mood board, and because I'm staying in XD, I can just copy and paste from that mood board file. So I've pulled in assets from my mood board to show primary and secondary color, my 4 adjectives, my headline font, my body font. I've then included my photography assets, my UI inspiration. So it's okay if these go into multiple pages for you, but you're just reusing the assets you already have. So I'm showcasing what I did for my mood board. The requirements were to show examples from that, but then also include a link. So I have a link from my share link that I generated on that file. The same way you're generating share links for your prototypes is the same way you do it for your mood board. So I just generated the share link. I'm copying and pasting it here. Next, I have my wireframe. So I'm showing the snapshot of my wireframe. So my homepage, menu, my fundraisers. Now, again, this is a link to that wireframe that I've created in Adobe XD. I've just taken the images that are off my phone and I've copy and pasted them into artboards in XD. We walked through that in the generating the wireframes portion of that milestone 2 there for wireframes. So I have examples of my desktop wireframes, examples of my mobile wireframes, and now I go into examples of my prototype. Now, obviously your prototype is probably going to be much longer than this screen. So it's okay to crop it to fit kind of the screen and the size that you have for this presentation. The key thing is that you include the link to that prototype. So while I'm not showing the entirety of the homepage, if I'm presenting this to a client, I can quickly click on this link, jump out to that, and showcase the entire page for them. So it's okay if you're only showing a snapshot of your homepage. It's important that you show an example of it and also include the link. So I have the desktop view and mobile view for homepage. I have the desktop view and mobile view for the menu, and then I have a desktop view and a mobile view for the fundraiser page. And finally, then my last page is going to be my lessons learned. So I haven't finished this yet. I'll finish it by the time I do the last video, but you'll include 3 lessons learned from your work overall in the in this redesign of a local business. So the good thing about this is your first one. This is your first project presentation. And so you can see I have 12 slides here that I'll ultimately end up having. But you can reuse whatever template you do here for project number 2, project number 3, and project number 4. You're going to be required to submit project presentations, project overviews for each of your 4 major projects for this class. So I thought it'd just be helpful to walk through and give a brief overview